Hey, stay with me. So a single dad finds this police officer totally in rough shape, and what he and his amazing dog pulled off? No cap. It legit stunned the whole police force. That night, it was silent. I mean, dead silent. The kind of quiet where every little sound just hits different, you know? Like it echoes louder than it has any business doing. Daniel, a single dad, maybe early 30s, was just wrapping up another super long shift at the mechanic shop. He wasn't rolling in dough, for sure. Just had his sweet daughter Lily, their totally loyal German Shepherd Duke, and a small rented place out on the edge of Bristol. That's it. But what Daniel didn't have in cash, he high-key made up for with pure grit, a ton of compassion, and this rock-solid sense of duty that never, ever quit. He was just chillin', walking Duke down a quiet street in Bristol, when all of a sudden Duke just froze. Muscles all tight, ears straight up, laser-focused. Before Daniel could even get a word out, Duke pulled hard on that leash, practically dragging him toward this super dark, unlit alley. Daniel's gut feeling? It screamed, "Yo, be careful." He had his little Lily waiting at home, and he knew, deep down, dark alleys are never a good vibe. Hold up a sec before we dive even deeper into this wild story. If you're all about those everyday heroes, the ones with quiet courage, if you really believe compassion can absolutely shine when things are at their darkest, then do us a solid. Hit that like button, subscribe to MAGSMAN, and share this with anyone who needs a reminder about the power of us connecting. For real, your support is key to helping us spread these inspiring vibes everywhere. But Duke? Nope, he wasn't quitting. Then Daniel heard it, this faint, cracked whisper. Just one word. Help. His heart started absolutely pounding as he stepped further into those shadows. And then, there she was, slumped big time against the brick wall. Her police uniform was all torn up, and she was pressing her hand hard against a wicked wound in her side. Her skin was pale, for real, and her breathing super ragged. She was an officer, sure, but in that moment, she looked like someone seriously hanging by a thread. Daniel froze up just for a second, like, whoa. He wasn't a medic. No cap, he wasn't some hero. Just a regular dad trying to raise his little girl all by himself. Duke let out this soft little whine and nudged the woman's boot, almost like he was begging Daniel, "Come on, boss, you gotta do something." Hey, stay with me," Daniel said, kneeling right there beside her. "Don't you dare close your eyes, you hear me?" Her lips trembled like crazy. "Ambush! Drug bust! They knew we were coming," she gasped out, coughing with just blood staining her lips. "My partner! He's still out there!" Daniel's chest went all tight, for real. Whoever did this could totally still be close. His brain was saying, "Dude, you should have called 999, just waited for help." But something in his gut, maybe picturing Lily growing up in a world where good folks just walked away, yeah, that kept him right there, no doubt. He ripped off his work jacket, quick as a flash, and pressed it hard against her wound. His hands were shaking, you bet, but his grip, rock solid. "You are not dying here," he whispered, his voice low and firm. "Not tonight, no way."
Then all of a sudden, Duke exploded with a loud, sharp bark, spinning straight toward the far end of the alley. Daniel looked up, and bam, caught movement. Two shadows, legit creeping closer. One was holding something metallic that just flashed under the streetlight. His stomach totally dropped. Oh man, they were coming back. Without even a split-second thought, Duke launched himself forward, teeth all bared, growling like some wild, fierce protector. The men cursed, big time, and just stumbled backward, totally startled. Daniel snatched the officer's radio, which was clipped to her vest, fumbling with it like crazy until he heard that crackle. "Officer down!" he yelled, loud as he could. "Intersection of Elmwood and Cedar Avenues. She's losing blood. Send backup, now!" Suddenly, the faint sound of sirens, just barely there, echoed in the distance. And dude, those men bolted. Dude chased them off, no cap, snapping at their heels until they completely vanished into the deep dark. Daniel's breathing was super rough and uneven, for sure, but he stayed laser-focused on the woman. Her eyelids just fluttered. Man, she was really fading fast. "Hey," he said softly, leaning in real close, trying to keep his voice steady. "I've got a little girl back home. She's 7. She totally needs me. And you know what? I bet someone out there needs you, big time. So you fight, you hear me? You gotta fight." Something in his words, no kidding, just reached her. Her trembling hand lifted and gripped his wrist, holding on like her life was on the line, for real. Moments later, boom! Flashing lights just filled the whole alley. Officers rushed in, weapons drawn. But then they froze, totally stunned by the sight. It was a mechanic, all grease-stained, his jacket soaked in blood, his loyal German shepherd standing guard, and one of their own, still alive, all because some stranger just flat out refused to walk away. Paramedics jumped in, working super fast, but not before a senior officer stopped and gave Daniel this look. "If it wasn't for you," the man said, quiet but heavy, "we'd be bagging a body right this second, no cap." Daniel just shook his head, totally drained. "I only did what anyone would have done," he mumbled, kind of low-key. But deep down, he knew, for real, that wasn't true. Way too many people would have just kept on walking, convincing themselves it legit wasn't their problem, no joke. As they gently lifted the officer onto a stretcher, her hand slipped from his wrist, but not before she whispered something super faint, something only he could actually hear. "Tell your daughter her dad's a hero." Daniel stood there, legit frozen, Duke pressing close against his leg as those sirens wailed and all the vehicles pulled away. He didn't feel like a hero. Nah, he was just a dad, a man who couldn't, for a life of him, turn his back when someone else was fighting for theirs. And yet, what he and his iconic dog pulled off that night, it would totally echo through the entire police force and way, way beyond. Everyone was just amazed that one single dad with nothing but pure courage had flipped the whole script. Seriously, if this story just grabbed your heart, if it gave you those vibes that true heroism isn't just about capes, but about making that deep, impactful choice to care in that one selfless act, it can legit change everything.
Then please, pretty please, hit that like button, subscribe to MAGSMAN, and share this with anyone who needs to truly believe that regular folks can pull off extraordinary things. Your support, no kidding, keeps us going, sharing stories that really, truly matter. Okay, before we sign off, I gotta ask you something. Daniel said he just did what anyone would have done. You agree with that? High key, what do you think really separates the people who step up from those who just kind of turn away when things get tough? Drop a comment below. I'm super curious to hear your take.